Okay, so I gotta ask, being that he is successful and that is the attraction, all that, how much weight do we still put on these accusations?
I think right now it's accusations. And one thing about when people are reporting, especially in the media, about things like Me Too, being very mindful of how things are worded, because social media doesn't care. Half of my timeline has already convicted him. The other half is conflating this with Kendrick and Drake. The other part is, making jokes about it. So right now it's just allegations. Mm-hmm. But what I tweeted earlier today, it's important, especially men in hip hop media who might be his friend. Maybe they've done his show. He was on their show. You have to report it. I'm not saying that you crucify anyone. You're not calling anyone guilty or innocent.
But you can state the facts.
But you have to state the facts. And this is tricky because we've seen it with Russell. We've seen it with Puff. We've seen it with a lot of people who you might fuck with them. Maybe they were good to you. Maybe they put money in your pocket. But if there's allegations and you're in the media, as we define it now,
you have to do your job.
You have to fucking talk about it.
You have a responsibility.
I'm not saying, and talking about it is different.
In a way, though. I think that's just a little irresponsible in a way, because you got to remember, these type of accusations, they traumatize people.
That's
why
true.
Why do women?
That's
why
true.
Do women?
Hold on a second.
That's true.
You have a hard left response that you cannot predict is going to come out of the random person who hears
100%.
Mm-hmm. And that feeds into the biasness of why someone would hear these allegations and immediately just be like, burn this person, lock them up. Mm-hmm. They need to be under the jail without knowing the facts.
Here's the problem.
And I agree with that. I don't think we should be crucifying, convicting nobody just based upon a
most of these women want the money though. Like, why are they not?
Hold on.
But the reason let me just finish. The reason I said that is if you have a following and they don't know about it, you introduce it to them. Then you can't predict how they're going to respond to it.
I get that, and I'm with her. I agree with you. Here's the problem with that. People who are biased were always going to be biased.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You think what I mean?
I mean, Rolling Stone broke the news, so it's like out there.
Those people are going to go to www.imright.com and look up everything that falls in line with what they already believe to be true. So you were never going to get past anyone's bias. There's no way around that, which is why what she said is so important in journalism. State the facts.
And I'm going to say, as a woman, and I've talked about this, Mac, on social media, right now rap media is largely like podcasters, right? And yeah, you have authors and radio people and, writers, but bloggers have a lot of platform. And as a woman, I oftentimes feel like those convos aren't for me, because when shit gets a little uncomfortable and we have to talk about misogyny or alleged acts against women, all the guys bro up. Oh, we don't talk about that. And the sad part, and then you're letting quote unquote mainstream media cover the story. And that can be good because they can be less biased, or it can be bad because they don't know what they're talking about.
Well, let's be honest. When we're on the topic of biasness, anytime a black man is accused of something, he's already guilty. So for us to broadcast it,
yeah,
we feel like we're doing a disservice to the people that we know, because we know how it's going to be spun. We know how people are going to react to it already, because we've had too many examples of people just deciding, oh yeah, he's guilty.
But do you feel responsibility to protect women then?
Definitely.
How do you reconcile the two?
I was raised by a single mother, and my sisters, my cousins, I was the protector. But I would be careful. I tell my mother and all the women that I love, if anybody in the street says or does anything that makes you uncomfortable, do not say a word, just come get me. Because chances are, if that's a sucker and he puts his hands on you, we are going to lose our minds trying to find them later. So don't say a word, just come get me. Let me address these things. You know what I mean?
But I think that and look, there always the notion that there can be false allegations.
Yes.
There are people looking for clout, a quick payday, and I don't want to speak for all women, even though here I am the only girl. But I will say for most women, coming forward is not easy. Mm-hmm. And coming forward rarely helps your life. Because for the rest of your life, when they Google your name, you're a victim. You're a
Okay.
victim. You're a liar. So for most women to even come forward, and again, I'm not speaking for all, but most women, when there is smoke, oftentimes there could be a fire, but at the very least, we should listen. Again, I'm not saying blindly believe either side.
Yeah.
And I understand if someone is your friend, your mentor, no one wants to like malign somebody, and no one is here to, throw someone under the jail. Never. But as women, we often go out of our way to find reasons to protect you guys because we don't want to be that girl who, it's because of her.
But a lot of the
And
times,
then we sit here thinking, what were we wearing? Well, what did I say? Maybe I did lead him on. I shouldn't have been there. Like, we will do that shit. Our friends will tell us. Like, that's how a society, sadly, women are still raised to this day. And that's because we don't have open convos about consent and holding people accountable.
Well, here's the weird thing that I find it's like mind-boggling. I saw a post the other day of a woman saying she was out on a date with a guy. She liked him. He invited her back to her place. She said, "But I'm not sleeping with you." And he said, "Okay, that's fine. Just come spend the night." They cuddled the whole night, and in the morning she questioned on whether he was gay or not.
Okay, she's an idiot.
Because he did it,
confusing.
he didn't
She's
try
an idiot.
something, is what you're
Right.
saying.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she's an idiot. There are people who there's no monopoly on having an idiot on your side, right?
It transcends gender.
there
and
are
all
women-
demographics.
There are women who walk around saying idiotic stuff. There are dudes who walk around saying idiotic stuff. There are women who are scared to come out and say, "Hey, this happened to me." There are dudes
and men as well.
There are dudes who
Yeah.
take, and on the other side of that coin, there are dudes who are called simps when their bias leads them to protect women without knowing any of the circumstances. That woman could have cut dude's face. You jumped in and beat the brakes off of this dude for trying to get after her after she cut his face. Okay, well, who's in the wrong now? You dig what I mean? All sides. What I try to remind everybody is that we all have the same kind of struggle. It's just not the same struggle. What women go through, men go through in a different way. What men go through, women go through in a different way. If we all just chilled out for a second and remembered that, there's no monopoly here, and there are no blanket statements we can make. There are some women who are going to be able to say, "This happened to me, he did it, I don't give a fuck what y'all are talking about," or "She did it," or there are other women who can say, "That was my bad." And there are dudes who get down the exact same, "Hey, listen, I shouldn't have did that. I read this signal wrong. And
that's the thing. Look, as humans, we aren't taught consent, right? Like the way we grew up was one way. The way the next generation grew up is a different way.
Facts.
And it's also different cultures, where you grew up. Like that's the thing is we're all different. And when we're dealing with sort of interpersonal relations, there's a lot of fucking gray area.
And we're trying to set the rules out as we go.
Yeah,
a lot of these
especially in
rules are
this
being
era.
made up.
Now,
Yeah.
dialing back to what you said originally, our instincts. Is it instinctual for a woman to want a man to lead in that approach?
Depends on the environment she was raised in.
Is the man supposed to lean
And also
in
depends
first?
on what the foundation has been. Is this someone that you're dating for a while? Did you meet this person on the street?
Okay, let's start with how you feel. When you're dating a man, are you looking for him to lean in for the first kiss? Are you looking for him to be the initiator of the physical
Yes, but that's
engagement?
also how I was raised and also the generation I come from. That I can't speak for every woman, right? To MECC's point, everyone is different. So when you meet somebody, like I can't treat both of you the same or both of you the same. We all have different experiences. So again, get to know someone and communication. Like you'll kind of know sooner than later
Getting
the
to
way
know
that
that's a conversation.
I know you don't like spending time getting to know the woman
No,
before
that's
your
not what I'm
clothes
saying.
come
That's
off.
not what I'm
but
saying.
you know.
Don't make it like that because I'm in this day and age.
Yeah,
I'm very careful.
that's good. That's great.
I'm so careful. I feel like I'm pussy. Like
I love it.
you're gonna spend the night? Oh, you don't want to have sex? Okay, have a good night. And then I'm in
that
the other
doesn't make
room.
you-
Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But that is, but
they're
that's,
gonna use
but again,
Nah,
that
clip
but that
shit.
doesn't make you
was wild
pussy.
crazy.
No, that doesn't make you pussy. That means you're a grown man who can use his words to speak to a grown woman.
And then
that's not pussy.
But
that's a
but
grown man.
there are other women
That's
who
not
will
pussy.
call him a pussy.
You a
for
bitch
that.
ass nigga.
There are dudes who, there are women who will call him a pussy
Yeah.
for that.
But
again,
I'm going to add another layer, especially for someone like you who's now a public figure. You do need to be careful. And if you're going after women who are going to make fun of you because you're being careful, maybe you shouldn't be fucking with them.
No, it's not that. It's just
It's
you
that.
He's
just,
like, I do want to keep talking about that. Yeah.
I mean, if they're in my house, they're in my house for a reason. But and I'm not saying all women
Right.
that visit
Wow,
my
that
house
sounded
are
real vague, but okay.
You guys are gonna pick apart everything I fucking say. Okay.
because this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
This is how it works now.
Yeah.
They're 100% gonna get after you and everything that you say. They're gonna pick it apart.
But I think you, but to be overly
because
careful, I don't think is pussy. I
At
think you're
all.
fucking smart.
Yo, call me a pussy if it
Great.
keeps me out of prison.
I have videos of women in my phone. Like, yes, I'm coming to your house. Yes, we are going to have
That's
sex.
great.
Like, I have to do shit like
You
that.
have to.
now.
Until
You know
she
what I mean?
changes her mind.
But
and
also,
then
I'm
get the
presuming
fuck
these
out.
aren't women that you really know.
Of course not, because then it wouldn't be a conversation.
Well, there you go. So that's the thing.
You
If you're
know what I'm
having
saying?
sex with random DMs,
It's
I
not
mean,
random.
Nah,
deal.
sign on
Oh,
this
sorry.
dotted line. You say you going what? All right, Sam, I need you to sign right here.
But
You
didn't
say
Phil
what?
Jackson used to do that, right? Would
A
all
lot
the players
of artists do
you need
that.
to
Sign
a
these
disclaimer.
NDAs.
The problem is anyone at any time can withdraw consent.
100%.
So
And
what
that's
are you
something
really
people don't
doing
talk
here?
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro. You could be
It's crazy.
2 seconds from the nut. You know, let's stop. Oh God.
Stop. Get up. Get up.
Stop. Get up and go do something else.
Bro,
And
let me be honest.
Because then you, of course, from that era that you come from, it was it's even hard for me to express this and not just I hate
No, but
having to think of what the worst person is gonna say about it.
No,
You
but
know what
I
mean?
get where you're coming from. But again, the problem is too many people got hurt. Like, it's one thing if everyone was fine. Every woman knows someone who's gone through shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the stories you hear publicly is like the minority. I think, what is the statistics? Like 1 out of 3 or something. Don't quote me. Someone fact check. Like, that's not good. Like, we live in a fucked up world if that's the case. And oftentimes, it's people you know. It isn't the stranger on the street. So that means it's someone you were together, a friend that went too far, you were dating them, they misread it.
A bitter
like,
ex.
Or, I mean, here we're presuming it's not someone making it up, right? Wouldn't you rather be careful and not hurt somebody? Like, to me,
I'm
looking
definitely-
like a simp, looking like who fucking cares?
But okay, so how much validity do we put on these situations? Because for me, if that's the case, if you're guilty of this type of shit, yeah, hang the motherfucker. Do some weird shit to him before he dies.
Torture
You know what I
him,
mean?
man.
You feel what I'm saying?
Texas
But
justice.
how do we interpret these things when a lot of them are lawsuits and not criminal cases?
Yeah.
This hot fuck, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.